morning. It's Saturday in Belize, in Central America, on the eastern coast of the Caribbean Sea. I'm Sister Yaya Marine Coleman, the chairperson of United Black Association for Development Educational Foundation, a community-based grassroots organization attached to the only African Black independent media house in the country. A Mandela newspaper, 55 years, Crumb Radio, 35 years, UEF, 29 years, and XTV, 21 years. Since the year start, we've been in partnership with Belize Federation of Fishers, which is our umbrella. Will look after the interests of fishers in Belize. The executive director is Brother Nigel Martinez. Their technical advisor is Brother George Mivit. They're both here in the house. We're supposed to have them meeting once a month from 10 to 11. We never have one last month. So we double up this month. So the next one will be June 21st from 10 to 11. Brother George, good morning. Brother Nigel, good morning. We have fishers in the house. First time we have so much fishers. So we have to really make this quick. May I spend about 15 minutes, Brother Nigel, the Executive Director of Belize Federation of Fishers, want to give one brief skimming on the Belize Blue Bond, and we want to give the fishers the mic, make them talk, starting off with Brother George, specifically about SI 126 of 124. Thanks then people who live stream from Facebook at XTV Belize, and then people who are on YouTube at XTV Belize. Brother Nigel, the mic there for you.
Yes, good morning, Belize, good morning, Fisherfolks. Good morning, this nation. As you guys are aware, we are in the midst of a financial crisis. So Belize went from a Eurobond to a Superbond 1.0, then a Superbond 2.0, and now we are at what we are calling the Belize Blue Bond Project, or the Belize Blue Bond, which is a debt for nature swap, moving approximately 30% of our ocean was mortgaged by the government of Belize. We were never consulted on this matter. It's a significant amount of money. It's 364 million US dollars debt conversion for marine conservation. And as I mentioned it just now, marine conservation designated to create long-term financing for conservation, not for the fisher folks. 30% of our marine space committed towards this blue bond. Now, as we understand it, since 2021, it was the largest debt conversion for marine conservation globally. But what is very important, sis, is that people understand that Belize has a system, a strategic system of not paying our debts. So we have been restructuring these national debts repeatedly. And this blue bond definitely will see no difference in us restructuring, because at the rate that we are spending, at the rate that our GDP is at currently right now, we will not be able to sustain it. And what is very alarming is the fact that our fisher folks, fisher folks across the communities are feeling the pinch, because all the regulations that are put in place are not benefiting our members. And so we are here today to again emphasize that the current status of our fishery is in a crisis. The regulations and policies that are being forced upon us is not benefiting us, and only the conservation community are benefiting from the Blue Bond funds. What is also important to note is that there's also a $23.5 million US endowment that is set up that will mature in 2041 for the Blue Bond. Every year, the government, there's a drawdown of 4 million US dollars that is going into conservation, and little to none of that money is going towards our fisher folks. Right now, the cost of equipment is very expensive. Our guys need vessels, they need engines, they need duty exemptions, and we are not getting any accommodation for our members, for the fisher folks across this country. So it's very important to know that we are paying all of this money. The Belizean people are paying all of this money. And there's only a few bondholders that are benefiting. Very important to know that we have already paid, since the start of this blue bond, over 51 million US dollars in interest payment alone. So currently right now, we are just paying interest payment on this loan. And right now the interest is at 5.15%. And starting next year, the interest payment is going to be up at 6.4% onward until the end of the loan. So we're going to see a significant increase in the interest payment by the time we finish paying off this debt. Well, we know that we're going to restructure, but we're going to pay about 3-4 times the amount of money that was borrowed. So it's very important that the public continue to be aware of what the government has committed the country, and most important, our natural resource, just to benefit a few and not to benefit the majority.
Thanks, Brother Nigel. You could tell we, you know, all of the fishers, they want to come in. Brother George want to come in first for set the framework of why SI 126 of 124 matter, that we understand it, and how it impact the lives of all Belizeans, particularly fishers, fisher folks, their families, and their livelihood, and people will live in fishing communities. Brother George? Short, Brother George, because we want to make sure that fishers get it. Mike, the first time we got so much fishers turn up, and we happy man actually up on the water right now.
A pleasant good morning. Are you guys hearing me loud and clear, or am I breaking up?
We hear you.
Loud and clear.
Very good. All right. SI 126 of 2024. Just a little background on law. Under the British system, we have what you call the Principal Act, which basically sets out what the political directorate can do. So our laws relating to fisheries and relating to the Ministry of Blue Economy goes through the minister. He signs everything having to do with legal framework. The Principal Act basically says that the minister shall be responsible for, in a sense, protecting and developing the fishery resources of the nation. In this regard, the minister has said, and he has put into law, what is referred to as statutory instrument 126 of 2024, which means that it became legal in 2024. I believe Nigel had said, and I don't know that this is in the SI itself, but it became effective in October of last year. And essentially what it says is that the laws relating to lobster, relating to size classes, relating to closed season, and relating to what we call pregnant lobster or buried lobster, you know, berries, blueberry and blackberry. When you look at the underside of a lobster, a female lobster that is quote unquote pregnant, what you see are the eggs, and the eggs look like small berries, and that's why we call it buried lobsters. Those eggs that you see are unfertilized, and just like our female women for the species Homo sapiens sapien, those eggs will become viable when they are fertilized by the males. All right? Now, what the law is saying is that for everybody else, thou shalt not take in the waters of Belize any lobster between February 15 and June 14. my memory serves me right. That is what the principal regulation says. It also says that thou shalt not capture at any time any lobster that is buried. And it also says that thou shalt not take any undersized lobster. And for us, as fishers and strings, and Nestor will tell you that an undersized lobster is a lobster in which what we call the carapace, lobster, the head and the chest fuse. And we call it the cephalothorax or the carapace. Any lobster with a carapace that is less than 3 inches is illegal to take. It is what we call an undersized lobster. Lobsters are arthropods. Just like how everybody know that butterflies, for example, go through phases of larval cycle. You have your caterpillar and you got your pupa and then you got the adult. This is repeated in the aquatic environment, in the marine environment, and lobster goes through a range of what we call larval cycles. The beginning of that larval cycle, once the egg is fertilized, is what we call the phylosome larvae. This takes anywhere from 6 to 9 months in the water column. It settles out as a purulous lobster larvae, and then that develops into what we call a post-larval lobster. Essentially, what this SI is saying is that anybody that is licensed to farm lobster can capture any lobster that is 2.99 inches long to any lobster that is microscopic. The problem that we have is that you do not want to allow anybody to capture at any time, whether they're into lobster farming or not, any lobster that is near to the legal size. If it is near to the legal size, you know what we're doing? We're saying that you can take the bread out of a fisherman's mouth just before he bites. A lobster that is 2.99 inches long will be 3 inches long in a short time frame. And so we are saying that the government of Belize, the concern of the BFF, is that the government of Belize, whether by design or default, should not have allowed a regulation that says that anybody can capture lobsters that will be legible to be captured by fishermen. They are literally taking bread out of the mouth of fishers if we allow this to happen. So, as we know, the lobster fishery is a highly competitive fishery. There are over 4,000 licensed fishermen, depending on who you talk to. And most of our fishers will tell you that what they are catching now is not what they caught 10 or 15 years ago. Most of our fishers will say that, and that is because of various reasons. One of them is that the lobster pie, there's only a finite amount of lobsters that you can catch. That is what nature is providing, is limited. And the more fishers you have, the thinner that slice of pie. 1, 2, lobster populations are being depleted. Lobster is being overfished. And so we're saying, the BFF is saying, if the government of Belize is allowing people with a mariculture license to harvest lobsters that will be in the domain of fishers, what you are doing is you're not only endangering the lobsters, but you are endangering the fishers who depend on lobsters for their well-being, for their income. All right? So, Sister Yaya and gentle people, I believe that I'll stop there unless, unless I'm urged to go on or unless there are comments and or questions.
That good, very good. I'm proud of that, Brother Nigel and Brother George, because if you know that they know a lot of things and they go talk long, if you know, Tell them, hey, make we get the fishers time. So they will take 15 minutes time frame. Nige, introduce the fishers in the other way you want and make the fishers. How much are they that I see right now?
I only Von supposed to let us see right now.
Then Van for go first. One of them was Sister Fisher, and she that I see. Whatever you want, Van, share it with at this point. Load the
But
fishers.
Van is not on. She has limited internet, so she's oh yes, she's on. Go ahead, Van. Sorry about that. Is she on?
Yes, sis. Go ahead and tell me anything what you want to talk about this fisher space, especially as it relates to this recent SI lobster.
Morning again, guys.
Thing.
Good morning.
So right now I'm on the island. I cancel my fishing day so I could get in at this Zoom meeting. If you notice that the on and off, and I hope you know to hear me well.
But hear you good.
Okay. Well, in regards with the license to the mariculture thing with the 2.9 and the eggs, I look upon it as most of the things where they do to the fishers, I look upon it as big disrespect to a livelihood. Because a lot of the rules that we have to follow, other people don't have to follow. And like one clash you they do, because then you have people like BFF, you have WCS who come and try teach you sustainable fishing and thing, but with one government, they do the opposite to it. So for sustainable, I don't see it they happen if the government are continue to do stuff like this and not sit down with the fishers and really find out where they go on.
What the other fishers then they say when I hear that your position and I respect that. What the other fishers then they say? Well, you hear fishers they say when they answer the pan Zoom.
In regards to the
To this law.
Well, a lot of fishers I spoke to after the workshop with that Nigel they had, a lot of fishers I come back home and talk to, nobody had no idea about this law. So that's something new I bring home that regard to the fishers them.
Respect. Nigel, how BFF find out about this law?
Well, what happened is, you know that we have one office space out Turner Fatal Trust. And because Turner Fatal Trust have a subscription with the government of Belize to receive these gazettes frequently, this is how we get privy to the information, because a lot of these information pass through the gazettes. And a small organization like ours and many of the fishing association, we don't have really finance for to give the government for the receive these gazettes on a timely basis. So we have to rely on those who are able to pay for it, because you have to pay for it. And that was how we were made aware of this SI. And immediately when we got wind of the information, we were having a workshop during the same time. And so we brought the information to the members to find out whether or not the members were consulted, had any clue or any information, and not surprising, nobody knew about it.
So when BFF find out, what time frame? Because this is from 2024.
We had the workshop. Let me tell you, we had that workshop.
This year?
Yes, we had a workshop last week. Not last week, the 28th. So we found out the 26th of May, we found out about that SI. The 26th of May, and we had our workshop on the 20th of May. That was when we brought it to the members' attention. And then immediately the following Monday, we went on WB and we publicized it to the nation.
Okay, so that's several months. The one in 2024 and sign it. You remember that one month, Nigel?
October 7th, 2024.
October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Almost 8 months later before The umbrella
Right.
organization for fishers find out. And so would you say that the majority of fishers in Belize still don't know about this SI?
I would say a majority still doesn't know because the members that were represented at our meeting is across the country, and they have members within their organization that they represent. However, there's still the broader fisher folks across the country that no one has provided this information to, only from what they have been hearing from the fishers within their respective community or through that WUB platform or the YouTube channels.
Please introduce the other fishers and make we hear what they have to say. I just can't stop thank the fishers for being here today because the inspiration for have these monthly Zoom community meetings since 2025 with one specific focus on the Belize bluebonn, that because of Belizean fishers, the impact of the Belize bluebonn for on the lives, on the family lives, on the livelihood. So Nigel, introduce the fishers.
All right, we are staying at the south, and we are get one information from Webali Strings Castillo. You're mute, Strings. You're mute.
Morning, folks. Morning, folks.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, it's just my take in respect to the mariculture in terms of raising the small lobsters, the juvenile lobsters. We are with the government with consultation with respect to undersized lobster to raise from 4 ounce to 4.5 ounce. Now we're going back way now. If we decide to bring in this mariculture into this, then it was useless consultation with the government if we do allow that to happen. Reason why we raise it from 4 ounce to 4.5 ounce, which they were bickering, but although some fishermen was not agreed, but the majority did agree to raise the lobster size. We don't want to go back way. And at that time, if harvesting small lobsters, they're going to create more havoc, saying that because Fisherfolks itself, if a company they reap small lobster to raise, then fishermen will say, look here, we have to catch small lobster too. And we don't want to go that direction. We don't have minimal security out there. They can handle the waters. Now we are creating another problem for fishermen. Next thing is that they know to themselves, the government in a whole know to themselves that they must learn by now to consult with fisherfolk before making any decision, because we are luck. Understand? I have a meeting a couple of days ago with my fisherfolk here in Hopkins, and I mentioned that to them, and nobody agreed for that lobster raising to occur. Nobody agreed. So the government need to go back to fishermen and see what's going on and decide to stop it until consult with the broader fishermen. Thank you very much.
Brother String, so you got a Hopkins right now?
Yeah.
You got a Hopkins?
Right in Hopkins.
Right, you got that. How long you the fish?
You got her.
You got her. How long you the fish?
Oh, over 30 years.
Over 30 years. In them 30 years, do you feel like the government may ever listen to fisher folks and their voices and take what and tell them for putting a policy and then practice?
I have always said to the government, we are the scientists of our water, that we own the water. So there is no way that you guys can make decisions. But up to now, they're still making decisions without knowledge of the fisher folks in this country.
What are the vibes of fisher folks that you got that right now? People, they encourage one another generation of fishers to fish. People, they left the fishing industry. What are the vibes of fishers right now that you got that Hopkins?
Well, this is a fishing community. It's difficult to stop people from fish. But the point is, with the high cost of everything, it's also difficult to engage in much fishing. If you not got money for go to Glowers Reef, we costing like $1,000 for a trip. So for you, better not waste your time and go there because you won't make back your $1,000, right? So majority of people are saying, look here, we only go fishing front here, but better we go to school and try and make some care. So we got fishing, no the work right now. You know the work.
I hear your sister Vonetta today.
Yes,
Sister
yes.
Von, how long you the fish?
Oh, the CARs like strings.
Sure, you look so young.
Now let's see you do it too. You stay fit.
How you get into fishing, sis? Because we don't see a lot of fishers, a lot of women fishers. How you get into fishing?
That one family thing. My dad, my uncle, cousins, everybody around me are fishers.
And to you, it's still worth for staying at the industry as hard as Brother String said, the cost of living they go up. Uno can go out as far, more competition, less enforcement. The government not they listen to uno. You still think it worth you being a fisher? You to encourage your family members to be fishers?
Well, I have 4 kids. And 3 of the boys may take on the fishing, but I always does tell them the way look now to for my younger. You don't have to get to know education and have another job and still have a fishing license for come out now and again can do no one. But the way they go and how the government they behave, we got all different kind of fishers, but they put we under one basket, right? And if you can't do deep slow fishing or deep sea fishing, you can't fishing again after this because they want the whole inside for this manage access thing and tourism. So far, when I'm young, I not encourage my kids, them or nobody much for come into this fishing thing again. Cause like when
Sister Freezer?
string say if you don't got the money, them in the try ban for with the last time.
I hear you, sis. Brother Nigel, who are the other fishers in the room? Introduce them, Lord.
All right, we'll move north and we're going to Nestor Lopez from Fui Fishers Association in Corozal.
Morning,
Hello, good
brother.
morning. Hello, good morning.
Yep. If you put your camera away, I can't hear you now. Because I want to see how to fisher, brother Nestor Lopez.
All right, but the net is slow right now. If I put
All right, no
the
problem,
video.
no problem. How long
Okay, I
you
will
the
put
fish?
in one. I the fish right now 30 years now.
30 years. Okay, tell me what I want to tell you.
Well, about the SI of the government is that there is no consultation with the fishers, especially that we are having this way of saying that we fishers are the traditional fishers. Right? If they have to do something with this, I think they're supposed to contact and see the fisher, what's their opinion. Because we live there, we know what's happening, and we know that this will affect fishers if we start to, like how we say, kill the small lobster from the eggs way up to the 3 inches one.
You
Close.
come from fishing family?
Yes.
So who fish for you? Your pa, your grandpa, your great grandpa? Who fish for you?
Well, I have a issue right now with my family. That's my grandpa. They were the first boats. There was only 7 boats in Belize that goes out fishing. Plus the ones from Kikakar and San Pedro that they are traditional too. That the first 7 of them, that was my grandfather that passed to my father. That's about 60 years now to 80 years.
Are you have any son or daughter? You the past any fishing experience today? You encourage them to be fishers?
Well, fishing is a nice thing to do, but right now is like how things goes. I have a daughter and she's studying right now. I have a son that he's doing fishing with me, but he's not staying. He's just learning because he like it, but hopefully he get a job in London, do a living, better living than right now is happening with the fishers.
I never asked before we go and get the last fisher in. Make I ask Vaughn, Strings, and Nestor. What wanna know about the blue bond? If we don't know nothing, say nothing. If we don't know one thing, say the one thing. So Vaughn, then Strings, then Nestor. Tell me anything you wanna know about the blue bond. Go on, Sister Vaughn. Sister Vaughn, not come in. Brother Strings, where you know about the blue bond?
At this time here, I wouldn't want to comment on the blue bond because I'm some part of the organization and I am unable to speak on that part there, but I spoke strictly to my fisher folks in respect to blue bond and the value. So far, fisherman is not getting anything out of blue bond. Simple as it.
Thanks, Brother Strings. Sister Vaughn, you could answer now? Another here. Sister Vaughn?
Hello.
What you know about the blue bond?
Well, not really, nothing much about it.
No problem. Brother Nestor, what you know about the blue bond?
Well, the same thing, not much.
Right, I just want to know on the record that one position. Brother Nigel, please introduce the other fisher. And then after this last fisher, we open up for the community of people where in the live Zoom or might they listen on Facebook or could just put in their 2 cents, whatever they want to say about the conversation this morning. Go ahead, Brother Nigel.
Well, we have 2 more fishers. I want to stay in the north and we introduce Eugene Santos. Eugene Santos, if you could turn on a camera and speak on the matter.
We'll wait for Eugene come in. Come in, Eugene Santos, fisher from the north. I see up online, but I don't see no audio. All right, go to the next fisher, and then hopefully we can get back in.
Well, make we go to Leopoldo Zetina. Leopoldo Zetina, if you could turn on your camera and your mic, you could have the floor.
Which part of the country in there?
In the north as well, San Esteban. Orange Walk.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
I'm the vice chairman for San Esteban Fishermen Association. Well, as you were saying, I'm just thankful to Mr. Nigel and Mr. George for bringing this exciting up because I think the whole community was ignorant about that SI. I've been talking to my fellow Fisherfolks too, and nobody agrees to that because if they find us with one lobster out there that is, let's say, exact 3 inches, you get charged. So how comes our next company will just come in and they could do far more damage than us that we are the Fisherfolks. If you see behind me, I have my fishing hook. All of them have a 3 inches and more for make I could be responsible fishing out there. So I think it's not fair for nobody in the community to make this last be just passed, and worst of all that we don't have no consultation at all, nothing. Oh, I tell you once more.
Fish?
Right now I will be having 25 years in October.
Anybody else know your family fish?
No, when I used to live at Belize, and then I used to see those boats, and I just fell in love with that job there.
Is it worth it though? I mean, like the cost of living to go up, the other fishers, then they say, there are more fishers. You don't have enforcement. Then you have laws like this one passed where not enough for no benefit. Is it worth you staying or remaining in the fishing industry?
Well, for me, it's kind of worth it because let's say I don't have 40 years and that's all I am. I do other jobs, but then I really can't work that hard. But I encourage my sons then not to follow my pattern. because it's not in a few years. It's already messed up. So imagine in a few years later.
What you could talk about the you know anything about the blue bond?
But the blue bond, all I know is that they came and take out space from us to make it run reserves and push us out to work more farther, where sometimes you have to go more deeper and stuff to go work, and it's kind of hard because once you don't get used to one area, you know where to go and what's not, right? So, but blue bond, we just hear this company or this organization get this organization that. No fisherman get help, none, as far as I'm concerned.
Respect. Every month we have their conversations and we do it primarily for fishers. So the next one will be Saturday, June 21st from 10 to 11. And I know that they out there to fish. So please tell no other fishers, or if you can't come, tell no family members, because it impact for their lives too. So Nige, what you mean when you say fishers and their livelihood? What livelihood mean?
Well, I would want you to ask the fishers what they consider their livelihood. I can tell you from the federation perspective, but I want you to ask them specifically because it's their livelihood that is being impacted significantly.
I like your answer, Nige, because sometimes I say, Nige, we don't hear your voice and George's voice. We want to hear the fishers. Good for me. Fishers, they have to talk for themselves. We can start off with Sister Vaughn. I want to ask Sister Vaughn, then I want to ask Brother Strings. What livelihood mean? And then I want to come down the road in the other whole Brother Nigel introduce you know. Sister Vaughn, what fisher livelihood mean to you?
Well, it mean everything to me because that had sent me 4 people in a school. Through schooling and everything, it pay all my bills. So I don't got no fall back for nothing but fishing. So that when the fishing livelihood means to me. Everything.
Respect, sis. Brother Strings, what fishing livelihood mean to you?
That means that you must catch fish. You have to fish for you to survive, for your family to survive, for your kids to go to school. So you have to fish. So you have to protect that industry there. At the same time, you don't want other entities to destroy it. So you can keep on live. Simple.
Brother from up north, Nestor Lopez, what fishing livelihood mean to you?
Well, that's the only thing that we have to make a living here. And like how the brother says that government or entities are trying to destroy what we protect.
Respect. I want my brother Eugene Santos could come in now. Brother Eugene, you could come in contact with now?
Hello, yes.
Eugene,
I was having...
give thanks, brother Eugene. You're with
Hey,
us. What part
yes,
you
I was
there?
in Zetina village.
Yes. Last year when UEF and BFF had 2 researchers in the country that saw end up that Sartineha and Chinooks for the first time. Brother Eugene,
Good.
how long you to fish?
Well, I've been fishing like around, it's almost like 20 years.
Anybody
Like
else
almost
in
all
your
my
family
life, yeah.
fish?
Huh?
Anybody else in your family fish besides you?
Yes, all my brothers.
And how
Even
much
my,
you?
we are 3, including my father who passed away sadly during a bad weather.
Oh,
Yeah.
condolences. So salty now, no vein.
Yep.
Tell me
Always.
what the Sartineha fishers and say about this SI as it relates to the lobster size and who could catch and win.
Well, actually, everybody is arguing about this because lobster is getting, well, it's not really getting scarce, but it's the fishing industry is increasing now, in which it makes the catch a little bit, lower than we are used to catch, since the fisheries department, they are accepting more and more fishers to join the industry. That's the main problem that we are having. We're trying to let's say to work as the keen farmers, because not every person just can join to that industry. If you know what I'm speaking.
hear you, brother. I hear you. What you know about the blue bond?
Well, the blue bond, we have heard that, well, in my belief, it's good, but at the same time, it's a little bit bad for us because they are overprotecting our seas, in which let's say that the fishermen, they are all blaming the fishermen that the fishermen overfish the seas and everything. But if we pay good mind into it, the fishermen, they are trying to protect the seas, but the government, let's say, they just give permits to everybody to go and drag and do the other, let's say, activities out at sea, in which they are destroying, they are the persons who are destroying the sea.
I'll ask the fishers one last set of question and give the open up the floor. I want to ask based on today, and let's say 5 years ago. If 5 years ago, Uno get groceries to go to sea for $500, how much the groceries now enter Uno go to sea? I also want the listeners and viewers and live streamers to understand when we say the cost of living the up. 5 years ago, when we go to sea, for example, maybe only spend $500. And now 5 years later, when we buy groceries to go to sea, maybe we spend $1,000. So I can start off with Sister Vaughn, and then I go down the line. Sister Vaughn, how much you been spend on groceries 5 years ago before you go for one of your fishing outing, and how much you spend now?
Well, 5 years ago, I say everything for me like cut in half. So I would have for my groceries, I would have spent like two something or two change. Now $300-$400 the groceries.
I hear
that like my expense gone from $500-$600 to $1,000 change.
I hear you, sis. It matter that we're hearing dollars and cents. How about you, brother Strings?
Yeah, and the listeners, I recall we buy a board engine for $7,000 in 5 years back. Now engine at 9,000 something for 40 Yamaha horsepower. Food went up high. We need to talk about fuel price. So if I spend $1,000 for a trip right now, which is only 3 days, that means at that time I spent $500 5 years back.
Brother, I like them real dollars and cents. Brother Nestor, how about you?
Well, I could say it's gone up to 50%. 50% expense. Because I used to take about $300. Now I take about $500 to $600 on groceries.
Good. And you can have other expenses we don't know about. I know that groceries, the fuel, the maintenance on a vessel. I guess on a fishing structure. I don't know the way I don't spend. I don't know what I want to expend. So on a make we know. Make I ask brother Eugenio, how your expenses increased in the past 5 years?
Well, my expenses has increased like dramatically. I was used, let's put this example. I used to go to the grocery with $50, and I could buy like a lot of things. But now I go and I just come buy like 3 things or 4 things, that the most.
Okay, that real. And then the final question for brother Leopoldo. How your expenses increased as a fisher from 5 years ago?
Well, from 5 years ago, I think we used to carry like maybe $800 worth of stuff, but now it's about nearly $1,000 to $400. So it increased a lot. That includes ice, fuel, oil, food, but it has increased a lot, and we don't get no help from government. So
Or not get no what
no
I call the
subsidies,
thing
no
when
nothing.
when a developer come in, I don't have to pay no tax for 20, 25 years. I don't get no kind of ease. Well, I have to
Nothing.
give Belize Federation of Fishers big respect for organized fishers today from the north and the south, and fishers and fisher folks. It make one difference when we see for our face, when we hear for our voice, when uno say for uno self. And this is why we glad we could share the link. Uno could show on the area rep. Uno could show anybody we got power and influence. Like, we organize throughout this country as fishers, and nobody could look after for own interest. Yes, Belize Federation of Fishers today, but you see how the cane farmers come out, and we see the cane farmers, and we hear the cane farmers. Fishers and their families have to become knowledgeable and come out and defend for own interest. Big respect. Well, I done 10:47 already, but Brother Nigel, Brother George, anybody else with the Inya, I see my brother from down south, Ministry of Agriculture come in. I see Brother Vaughn, Trinidadian brother from the United States. I really happy when the people in come in. So anybody who wants to say something now, no put on the camera, raise the hand, say whatever you want to say. We got another like 12 minutes for reason now.
Yes, it's me again. Hello, are you guys hearing me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you good.
All right, I want to touch on three things. One of them is the issue of consultation. What has been happening is that, especially in relation to the Blue Band, the government of Belize has been passing a slew of SIs, a slew of statutory instruments. These, in large measure, relate to the expansion of protected areas. To a large extent, nobody is consulted, and Brother Nigel will back me up here. There was a major increase in the numbers and the geographic space of marine protected areas that has been passed without any consultation, not with fishers or not with anybody. One, two, this has been reflected again in relation to the SI relating to lobster. This is not good. Generally in management, we have what you call, there are a range of types of consultation. One of them is what we call collaborative consultation, which is what we want. We don't want the government to essentially pass a law that will impact the livelihood of fishers, that will injure the ability of fishers to make a living without meaningful consultation, not just to tell them that we plan to do this and we will do it, but to say to fishers, what is it that we should do in relation to marine protected areas? What is it that we should do in relation to lobster farming? So it's not just consultation, but it is consultation that comes for fishers. Another type of consultation is delegated consultation, and another type is consultative. We then just go and say, you know what, this is what we'll be doing, and it's done. Ideally, what you want is delegated management, where the government can begin to say to fishers, you know what, if we will make any decision about, I know where Nestor fish, for example, behind English Key, between English Key and the main between English Key and the main islands, as well as from the main islands to the mainland coast. The government of Belize should do nothing in relation to fishing without consulting Nestor and anybody with fishing in that area, because when it's gone, when they take that livelihood from you, it's not going to come back. The other thing that I want to talk about is the whole issue of access. I believe it could have been Brother Eugene Santos who talked about, at some point the government has to introduce what we refer to as limited entry. The seas of Belize are finite in space, in geographic space, and the resources are finite. And you just cannot continue to admit fishers to the extent that you'll be ending up with 10,000 fishers. Nobody will be able to make a decent living. So these are very, very important points. And in closing, you won't hear from me unless I'm asked to. I want to say that I join Sister Yaya and certainly Brother Nigel in saying that this is a momentous occasion for the program because fishers are not only in audience, but they are inputting into the conversation. Thank you.
Big respect. I mean, it's up for week, January, March, April, May, 5th show. And I had to tell you this is the heaviest show because the fishers are here, sisters and brother with a hearing voice throughout the whole country. Like, Uno need for come in. We created this space for Uno specifically. I get one text from the president of the Belize Women Seaweed Farmers Association. She's on YouTube. It's a great show. Fisher folk need to get break pan gas and taxes. It also said, Fisher folk teachers stand together, go out there and make our voices heard. The masses and majority of this country need to get together, stand together. Uno feed we and the teachers then educate we. So I know one of the things that the fishers then the out that see. But sometimes we have to make one coordinated community sacrifice as fisher folk for make we sell for make that over 3,000 for make we sell for make we hear for make we know say listen, who feed your controller, you know? Like, uno really need to get a sense of uno power. Uno feed we. Seafood, a part of we cultural way of life. You know what people live on the Caribbean sea coast? Enough. Anyways, we got another 7 minutes. If anybody wants to say anything, the mic that for uno.
I want in closing, I don't know if you guys are hearing me.
Brother Strings with the hair, yo.
In closing, I always encourage fisher folks, tour guide who do fishing, fly fishers. Let us join in one. We need to join one so our voice could be heard. There might be some people want to separate us within the commercial fishers, the tour guide, and the fly fishers. We are one fisherman. We are one fisherman. We need to come together and fight our cause. For example, right now, we have some dredging that happened within Sandfly Key. You know, all these flats. We are now saying to the people of this country that we will not allow people to dredge our flats. Our flats is for us. That's why our juveniles have survived. And we got to protect all these flats in this country, not only one area, the entire country must protect the flats of this country. And I say it over and over to the government and whoever heard, even the people that created the spend their money. Do not spend their money to dredge these flats because we'll be after you guys.
Big respect. This are really people power vibes to the eye. Telling them like I just so hopeful. I feel so good. Again, we need them to continue to come out and make people sit and hear. It better when on talk for yourself when people see when they're walking out the road and say, "Oh, are you me sit on TV or YouTube or Facebook? I never know." Blah blah. Make people know who feed we. Before we go and get everybody want to leave minute for the last 2 cents, starting off with Sister Von. What you want to say in a closing, Sister Von?
Government need to start respect the fishers and consult more with we about the laws and things where they do.
Respect, sis. Respect. Big respect. Next we have Brother Strings.
I'm just encouraging my fisher folks in my association that we're having the Mango Fest next week. So we'll be having a booth out there. So if fisher folks come out, let's face our people, tell them what we do and what affecting us. So come out, fisher folks. Thanks very much.
I want it down there, so I want definitely call look for you.
Okay.
Make we go to Brother Eugenio Santos.
Hey, in my enclosure, I join with Mr. Strings. The fisherman has to join together to fight for rights and make the things right as we see it. Thanks for the time and the patience you have, guys.
Respect, brother. And now we're going to Brother Leopoldo Zetina.
Yes, I just want to give him thanks you too for the time that you have us here, and I didn't know about this space that you have, but we'll try to be more here to make more people know what our livelihoods and stuff like that. Thank you.
Respect, I share the link with Brother Nigel and Brother George because it's another thing. Something I really can't make it. But share the link all over the world. Make people see hear like this real. I never miss no Fisher. Did I miss a Fisher?
Nestor.
Brother Nestor Lopez, come in, brother. Sorry about that. What are your final 2 cents?
Well, the last thing is thank you, everybody, and I hope that the governments take us more in the consultations. That's the only thing, and fishers have to get together, and the voice have to be heard. We have to get together and, like how you say, share it and try to put it on Facebook or whatever, so that people can know the concerns and what are happening.
Thanks, brother. Remember, you got a Facebook, XTV Belize, that page, and YouTube, XTV Belize. The show on repeat 5:30 this evening for XTV local channel. Not forget, ono feed we. And who feed we, control we. Ono put that in on your scanner. Ono feed we. So ono run things. Nigel, final thoughts.
Yes, sis, thanks very much. So the BFF and its members association will continue to advocate on behalf of fisher folks across this country. We have put in 2 documents to the government, a code of conduct for responsible fishing and a call for action, whereby we're asking the government that we need to establish an endowment fund for climate resilience for fisher folks. That's very important. We also is asking the government for an alternative livelihood revolving fund. We cannot approach the commercial bank. We want to invest in our fisher folks. Our fisher folks feed this nation. We're talking about food security. So it's very important that we get our message across, and we are going to continue along with our fisher folks across this nation, advocate for our small scale fishery.
Big respect again to Belize Federation of Fishers for organizers. Absolute. Now, when I like say only the people and save the people, this is what I talk about. When the people then what they live with the sufferation come out and make their faces get seen, their voices get heard, and say, make I tell you know what happen out of water. Make I tell you know what happening in their fishing communities throughout the country. And I rate that. Nobody could tell phone a story like us. So again, like Sister Van give up one whole day of fishing just to be like that one big sacrifice that Sister did of water right now. Definitely this is a hurricane season, so we have to keep putting in a high vibrations and asking them to take care of our families, on communities as fishing communities. On here, brother Strings, the halafono, I tell you, say, Conda Mango Fest next week that you gotta Hopkins. The fishing community will have one booth out there. I want to down there, so I definitely going to go heal up. And I want to say, I definitely thank the security guard with the work, the XTV, the zinc fence today. I guess maybe Shane Flowers. Thank our sister, Christy Flowers, the technical director at XTV, to put in mad time for it. We appreciate it. Again, the show on repeat 5:30 today on XTV local channel. I want to remember say Saturday, June 21st from 10 to 11, that the next UBAD Educational Foundation and Belize Federation of Fishers, Belize Bluebond Zoom Community Awareness. No, the next one was hot too, because we never know about the impact of sargassum on fishing folks. We just find that out one time BFF and Fishers met up on WB last week. So I'm going to tell everybody, June 21st from 10 to 11, that the same meeting ID and passcode for Zoom. We're going to tell you again what that is real with sargassum on the experiences of fishers in Belize. Until next 2 weeks, Saturday, Belizeans. Remember, I forgot a Mango Fest next week. Only the people want to save the people.
Right. Thanks, sis.